So I'm only going to go over these two questions, 1 and 3. If you can do these two, you will be fine for the quiz on the next class. But before we get started on these, just remember this. I'm not printing this out against you. You do need to remember to bring this. But when you look and they show you at the bottom of the page, it says that this is the area for our z-score. This is the area for our z-score. It's always showing you to the left. So all of these values that are given to you, all of these area values, anywhere in there, that is showing us the area to the left of our z-score. So it's important that you understand that and that you know that. So when you start this question, it says the average admission charge for a movie is $5.39. If the distribution of admission charges is normal with a standard deviation of 79 cents, what is the probability that a randomly selected admission charge is less than $3? So since we're doing less than $3 on a number line, less than any number is to the left. So that means all of these areas are what is less than our z-score. It's everything that is less than it. So whenever we're asked to find the probability in a normal distribution, what is less than something, we're just simply solving for the z-score in here. Whatever the z-score, whatever the corresponding area, the corresponding probability with our z-score, that is just our answer. So we will use the formula that our z-score is equal to our r-score minus our mean divided by our standard deviation. So now we need to figure out the values for each. Our mean is the average. So the average admission for a movie is $5.39. So that will get substituted in for our mean. So we know we can put minus $5.39. Our standard deviation, so it says as normal with a standard deviation of 79 cents. So we can substitute that in for a standard deviation. So we can then put divided by 79 cents. And our score is what we are focusing on. It's our score, our value, or what value we're using to determine the probability. So it says, what is the probability that a randomly selected admission charge is less than $3? That is our x. So we would then put $3 here. Now, once we are solving for this, we have substituted everything that we need to, so we can then solve for our z-score. So we would then do 3 minus $5.39, and then that will give us negative 239. And then we will divide it by 0.79. And that will give us a z-score of negative 3.0253, so on. Remember, all of our z-scores are done in hundreds. So all of these are able to be done in hundreds. So we must round our number to the nearest hundredth. So that means we're rounding this number. So when we're rounding to our nearest hundredth, we look at the value after it. Since it's equal to 5, that means we must round up. So then our z-score is equal to negative 3.03. So now we will go to our chart and we will highlight or look at negative 3.0. So all of the answers that we have, or what our answer is, or what our value is any one of these numbers, because that's where it's negative 3. But we need specifically negative 3.03. So that means we need to look at where these two intersect. So although you can't see that, so I'm just going to circle at this point. So where these two intersect. So they intersect here at 0.0012. So that means the probability or the area that's associated with that z-score is 0.0012. And since it says it had to be less than it, we are already solved for the answer, because whenever we solve for this, here's negative 3.03, and we are already solving for the area to the left of it, which means the area that is less than, or the probability that is less than. So this is your final answer. You can write it like this, or if you wanted to, you can times it by 100 to give me 0.12%. So you can write it as a percentage, or you can just leave it as a decimal. Either one is acceptable. All right, these ones are just a little bit different, because this first one, we are finding the probability that a number that is selected is going to be greater than 700,000. So it's not less than, but it's greater than. So there's just one slightly different thing that we need to do. All right, so first thing that we need to do is we still need to identify our x, our mean, and our standard deviation because we're solving for our z-score. So z is equal to x minus mean divided by our standard deviation. It says that the average population in jail is 618,319. So that is our mean, our average. So it's 618,319. It says our standard deviation is 50,200. And our x, our value that we are focusing on, our score, what we're solving the population or the probability for is that 700,000. So we will then substitute it in. Z is equal to 700,000 minus 618,319, all divided by 50,200. So this will then give me a z-score of 1.6271. And once again, we need to make sure that we're rounding to our hundredths. So we will look at the value after that. So since that is a 7, this z-score rounds up to 1.63. So remember, our table our normal distribution will look something like this, and our z-score is 1.63. So we will then find what our value is for 1.63. So we will go to the positive chart. Here is our 1.6. So I know it's going to be somewhere along this line. And here is our 0.3. Wherever they intersect is our value. So they intersect at that 0.9484. But when I solve for this, it's solving for the area to the left of it. So the area to the left is at 0.9484. But this said that they want the area that is greater than. So that means we are actually trying to solve for this area to the right. So if we know all of our probability, remember, in our cases, whenever we're dealing with probability, all of the outcomes that can happen will always add up to 100%, or in this case, it adds up to 1. So the entire thing adds up to 1. So if we want to solve for the area to the right of this, or the complement to the area with our table, we will then need to do 1 minus 0.9484, which is equal to 0.0516. So that means your answer, the probability is 0.0516, or you can write it as a percentage, 5.16%. I don't care which way you write it. Either way, you will get full credit. All right, now the next question, it says between 500,000 and 600,000. So when you're solving for between, that's really awfully drawn. When you're solving for between, that means you're going to have two z-scores, and we need to figure out the area between them. So we're going to solve for this area here. So when we're doing this, all right, I need to cancel this video because I'll do this last question on a separate video because I'm not going to be able to erase this scribbly. Sometimes it just malfunctions. So no matter what I do, it's going to stay here. So I got to reset this notepad. So we will solve this B in 1 minute.